I'll still think about it.
Okay, we can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
I'm gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna burn for the night. When you're so salty, I'll still think about it.
We can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
Can't stop, won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop. Okay.
I'm gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna burn for the night. When you're so salty,
You sure you can handle? Okay. We can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
There we go.
Hola, everybody.
Hello.
Hey everybody.
And we have
Wow.
people on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
This is some long distance stuff right here.
We
Why do
are,
they always call it the pond?
I don't know.
we're
Why not?
international now.
Yeah. We've gone international. That's
There
right.
you go.
There you go. So, for all of you wondering, so wait, there it is. God, I have a hard time with it.
You're terrible
Adam.
at this.
Well, because my thing's mirrored. So, text shows up normal. See, it's correct. But it reverses when I'm pointing that way. It shows that way on the screen. And
Whatever you
Oh,
tell
crap.
yourself, Dan.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
look at right off the bat, Mousetrap's speaking some French shit. I don't know what that. Oh, bonjour à tous, mes something. NGS. I wish you all a happy New Year. Happy New Year, Mousetrap.
Say good afternoon to all my friends.
Yeah, right. So, if you guys didn't know, this is Rich Reviews. He is a YouTuber and he's in the UK, and it's 2 a.m. there.
Yeah, so cheers for getting
Yeah.
up and joining us.
Yes,
This is our dedication to the art.
to the art. Right.
Call it that. He's the
So-
artistic one. He's the videographer. So Jacob's the artistic one.
Nice.
Oh, yes. Hey, thank you. Brink of Speed, my buddy up in the Dallas area. So thank you. We finally hit 70,000 today.
A couple
Today.
hours ago.
A couple
Oh,
hours ago. Yeah. So woohoo! I'm celebrating with the beer.
Nice.
I haven't drank hardly any alcohol in quite a while, and so I'm rewarding myself tonight. Yay, beer.
I see somebody in the comments put, I thought we were getting Rich Rebuilds.
No, oh, sorry. Oh shit. So I accidentally put Rich Rebuilds, and then I was like, oh shit. And Rich was like, hey dude, it's Rich Reviews. I'm like, shit. And of course, the crappy thing is the system I'm using automatically sets up all the live stream stuff. So it kind of sort of doesn't really let you edit it very well. So I tried to edit it, and I don't think it went out to all the different things and edited it correctly. So, I mean, I was like, God. Anyway, that's my bad, and I'm embarrassed. So, anyway,
It's fine, it's
yes,
fine.
Chris, welcoming Rich. So, yes, we welcome you. Thank you for joining us. And
Thanks, Chris.
I don't see Fred. Is Fred here? Because he's
Yeah,
already.
Fred's here.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay.
He showed up on time for once. Normally he shows up at the very end.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know if so I know Gabe can't make it. Gabe's not feeling well. He caught the vid.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, actually, I think I want to say 4 or 5 people I know called me and told me they caught COVID this week. I was like, oh
Damn.
crap. So I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm just gonna sit here. It was-
I can tell you live then, Dan. I took the test because I started feeling ill a couple of days before Christmas and tested
no.
positive Christmas Day.
Oh
You
no.
did.
Yeah.
Oh
Merry Christmas.
no. Oh, here we go. All right, what is this? All right, maybe purchasing a former press car from Lamborghini with 8K kilometers on it. Car has 3-year CPO, and I can only find 2 review sites that use it. Are these cars well maintained by the manufacturer? I have no idea.
Yeah. What's 8,000 kilometers in moon units?
That's like, what is it? It's gonna be,
5,500.
isn't it like about like 5,000
Something like that.
freedom
Yeah.
units, something like that.
4970.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I was off by 30.
Pretty good.
The Mercy's not a flat 12. It's a V12.
That's V12, yeah.
Yeah, but still 12 cylinders. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, look, the Mercy's high on our list.
Especially now.
It should be.
Yeah, there's
High on
so
everyone's
actually
list.
funny story quickly. I have a video that was supposed to have gone out like Tuesday or maybe I don't know. Anyway, it's explaining why we're doing a Gallardo and our new our new business strategy, and I keep bumping it because
Of all this juicy drama.
all this crap keeps happening. So that video is coming out, I think, on Sunday.
Until
say.
more shenanigans happen. And then
Right?
it will get bumped again.
Hey, we got our representation in Indiana. Woo woo woo, baby! Fred has an in with the gods. What gods? The Ferrari gods? I don't know. I missed that. I missed that
I
one.
missed their
Sorry.
conversation.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
shoot. Let me tell you, it is hard to keep up. Wichita, Kansas. All right. You're probably over by
We're not
Hoovy.
in Kansas anymore.
oh,
yeah,
man.
Lotus has told us he knows Hovey. That's how Car Wizard joined us that one time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
he's with-
That's right. Now I've that's right. Oh, Fred's talking about his F8. They still
Oh.
don't know?
What happened to it?
Yeah, I'll let him explain.
They have to send the ECMs to the factory?
Yeah.
Wow.
How have
Where-
I not heard about this?
Where did that go? I was trying to click that up in the screen. Huh.
It's
Oops,
underneath
missed
Brent.
it. Here we go. I'm getting a Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. The
Nice.
rear-wheel drive cars seem to be better than the all-wheel drive and the V10s. That'll be good. That'll be fun. Yeah. Oh, nice. Here you go. It says modulus missing. Incomplete data. Go to dealer.
So, like,
Yikes.
the computer just disappeared, basically? That's
Yeah,
weird.
I guess so. It's because we finally drove it. You realize I have more seat time in that Ferrari than Fred does now.
That's sad.
You beasted it, Dan.
Yeah.
I did my job. I broke it.
Why not consider an R8 V10? Because an R8
He's
is
too
even
reliable.
less of a supercar than the 911 is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
just-
said it. What?
I just am not a big R8 fan, and sorry, but like it should have never been used in Iron Man.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Uh,
Audi paid good money for it to be
Oh,
in
definitely.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. That's what happened. You let Jan drive. I mean, not always. Sometimes. Sometimes. Occasionally. Let's see here. Dan is moving to a Lambo. Yes, we know that. It done blowed up real good. Hey, I'm trying hard, right?
That's right.
Oh, here we go. I like this question. Will Adam finally move to a Ferrari for the channel?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've got to sort of align with you, Adam, because I had a 993S for 12 years. So
Yeah.
There you
I was
go.
gonna say, so that's a
So
good
yeah,
segue.
so what's your take now that you've transitioned over to the red side of things?
Yeah.
oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, well, Jacob was always a Ferrari man, and he didn't really get the 993. I had the 993 from 2008, and I was very fortunate. It literally multiplied by about 5 times from the value I purchased it for to how much I sold it for. I did a lot of work on the car, but it was a special one as well, metallic black and black leather interior, S, low mileage, etc., etc. But the whole thing was I just had to have a Ferrari before I left this planet. And it was always in the back of my head. And I was thinking about a 355 for like 5-6 years. And I was constantly saying to Jacob, of course, I researched it to hell. And every single 355 owner I spoke to whenever I went to the car shows, he always had a bad tale to tell. He never got out of his car and said, Christ, that was a fantastic drive. You know, I really enjoyed that. And I've never spent a penny in the last 5 years. Never did that ever happen. It was always, I've just got the car back from the dealership. It's cost me another X amount. You know,
It's true.
I'm ready to ditch this car and, you know, all those sort of statements. And I thought, that's not good. So it was actually Jacob's decision because Jacob said, why don't we look at a 458? And I thought, yeah, okay.
It's pretty much been my dream car since it came out in 2009.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, the price is probably about reachable. So, and it's modern. It's you know, it's obviously very reliable compared to the 355. Maintenance costs are down. We've still got, when we got it, we had another 2 years on the warranty, on the free servicing. Sorry, so we've got another 1 year now. So, pretty much made sense.
And then I looked at sort of Jacob was saying, you know, is this ever going to happen? Are we ever going to get a Ferrari? And I kept saying, yeah, next year's the year. And I realized, I actually realized myself, I was saying next year all the time. And I thought, well, I ain't getting any younger. Got to make this happen. So we decided we'd put the 993 up for sale. And a guy from the channel bought it. A guy, a subscriber.
Nice.
He because we did loads of content on the car to begin with. That was the first thing we created content on, was the 993. Because I knew that car back to front, I'm an engineer and electronics engineer. Started as an electronics engineer and yada yada yada. I did loads of other things, but I'm very technical. So I project managed all the different changes that we performed or we had performed on the 993. So I knew it back to front, even down to the actual level of shore, the shore degree in that was put in the rubbers on the changes to the suspension. So because I technically documented it in all the videos, and there's a whole playlist there on the 993, a guy from the channel actually happened to get in touch with my detailer and said he was looking for a 993. And my detailer called me and said, hey, Rich, you thinking of selling that 993? And I said, funny you should say that. I've just been having the same conversation with my son.
Nice.
And he came down from Leicester, fairly wealthy guy. Came down from Leicester the following day, test drove it, put the money in my account about 2 days later, and then picked it up about a week and a half later. So
Nice.
I had money, and I said to him, I found out I know him really well, fairly well now. He's a really, really nice guy. And he's really pedantic and really particular. And it made me even more surprised that he checked the money in my account early. And I said, well, Christ, you're really trusting. But I said, I'll buy the seller. He said, I'd seen all the information you put there. I checked the MOTs on the car and the mileage that the car had done. I knew it was straight and that you'd never fiddled anybody. You loved that car so much. You knew everything about that car. There's no way there was going to be anything dodgy about it.
Yep.
It's good as gold. He then he's got a Speciale. He then put his Speciale in storage. He had it he's got his special room where he lives. A special room he's done for this special motorbike he's got from one of the Hobson Shaw.
Yeah, the actual motorbike from the Hobson Shaw. He's got that actual one using the film.
And he's got a few other nice things. And he had the Speciale in this special room. He moved the Speciale into storage, and my 993 is now in his special room.
I like this guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
I want to get Chris's thing because he paid for it. Not afraid to show my ignorance here. What's the difference between a standard Gallardo and a Superleggera? So Superleggera and all the Superleggeras, because they actually have Superleggera Aston Martins too, means super light. And so it's it's got a bunch of carbon fiber bits that the regular Gallardo doesn't. It's got I think it's 11 more horsepower. Basically, the way to think of it from the Ferrari world is the difference between a regular F430 and a 430 Scuderia. Is basically the difference between a Gallardo and a Superleggera. And then I got to catch up. Sorry, there was another one. Daryl asked, cheers to 70,000. Since he never drives his car, what is Fred's daily driver? and best wishes to everyone in 2022.
That's a good
The
question.
scooter.
Yeah.
He
No,
rides a scooter.
No, you know what he drives? Someone needs to pull it up. It's the Nissan NV200.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
I think it was in the background of one of your videos when you were out there.
Oh yeah, it's totally in the
Oh,
background.
the van. Okay.
Oh yeah, I
The
remember it.
those stupid vans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like something like the Leaf or something like that.
Right. I'm trying to get Scott to join because if you didn't know, Scott, the living legend, as
Yes.
someone said, is so he can tell us about his hot wife and his lack of sex.
Yes. That was an awesome little Easter egg in that video.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, when he
check
sent me
that
those videos and I saw it, Megan was like, "Oh, you have to put this in." I'm like, "Yes, I do." oh, speaking of the devil, and ready, poof! Hey,
Aha.
you there? Oh, we can't hear you.
Aw.
Yeah, fix your crap. In the meantime, Mousetrap, thank you. Dan, Adam, congrats on 70,000 subs. Imagine if
Thank
you
you.
both had Ferraris working.
I'm not gonna have a
Ooh.
Ferrari, man. They just don't do it for me.
You got two problems with that statement. One, Adam with a Ferrari, and two, working Ferrari.
Yeah. So if anyone wants some tiebreakers on Porsche or Ferrari with Rich here, he's owned both, so he can be the true tiebreaker.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does your mic work now, Scott?
Nope.
No, can't hear crap. He's all frustrated. He's like, dang it.
We are a professional operation, believe it or not.
That's right.
Are you using a Mac, Scott? Not if you're using a Mac. Go to the sound, go to the input, and make sure the input in your sound, whatever mic you've got set up is selected.
There you go.
Look at that. I called on a Gardo Super Trofeo Stradale that was only 2 hours away, missed it by an hour. They were asking 150. Oh, jeez.
Super
What
Trofeo
was-
Stradale. What is that the equivalent of? Like a 458 Speciale or something?
No, like a challenge car.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, super. Oh, dude, that would be.
But they're
badass.
like street legal. Oh, geez, man, people are throwing all sorts of money at us. All right, Dan, why hasn't the Testarossa had the astronomical rise in value that's compared to the Countach got, given they were both icons of the day? Solid question. I think
the Countach was still a much bigger icon of that time.
it might partly be because there's far less Countaches than Testarossas too.
Mm.
They made a boatload of Testarossas, but I don't know.
They're pushing up now, though, aren't they, Testarossas?
Yeah. Right now they've gone up a good 50, 60,000. But Testarossas have gone up and down multiple times over the years. You know, for a while you could get them for like 50 grand. Of course,
That's insane.
for a while you could get Countaches for like 60 grand too.
A 50 grand Countach or Testarossa is dangerous though, because that's somebody who buys one without knowing what's going to be involved with it.
Oh yeah, no, that's the problem. Is like that's honest to God, this is one of the problems with all the engine out cars that you risk is someone's like, oh dude, I can buy this for $45,000, and then they don't know that it needs 10,000-15,000 every few years, and so they defer all that maintenance, and then you get this car that's just kind of a shit box. So
That somebody else is dumping a ton of money into.
right, so you got to be careful with that with the cheaper cars. Yeah. So anyway, I did read that right. Dan, please reset. Scott, you still nothing?
Yeah, it's tough out there, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make sure
hey,
the
now we can hear
browser's
you.
allowed. Oh,
Wait, that was you. Wait, say something.
No,
that was his laugh.
it sounded like it.
I thought I heard his laugh.
Make sure your security settings allow the browser to share the mic.
Oh, that could be it too.
Yeah, because
What's the Gardo like for maintenance, Dan? I
The
guess you-
Gardo?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of similar to the 430. It's got probably so the clutch only lasts like 30,000-40,000. There's the big thing with the Gardo is the stupid AC compressor is known to be kind of janky, and
which we found out.
yeah. interesting thing about it is like I believe you have to pull the engine out to get to it or something like that. Like you can't just get to it. So
That's stupid.
yeah, well, you know. Yeah. Oh, here you go. I like the Countach better than the Mercy and Gardo. I've ridden all of them. I want to try riding a Countach as well, but
I mean,
I don't think I don't want to
it's
own one.
cooler than the other two, but I can't imagine that's better to drive.
No, well, funny thing about that, you know, Richard, our friend Richard, not Rich Reviews, Richard Lee owns the
Howard
Testarossa, the Howard guy. Yeah, he owns the Testarossa, and he got a chance to drive a Countach recently.
He said it sucked.
So yeah, I asked him. I was like, so how was it? And he's like, dude, it's terrible. He's like, it's so bad. I was like, oh, okay, that's about right.
Richard told me when I towed the car home for him, the Testarossa, that he'd let me drive it. And that was like 3 years ago. I've still never driven that car.
Well,
Really
remind
about
him.
That.
Here you go. Mousetrap, thank you. Dan Adam, congrats on 70,000 subs. Imagine if you... Oh, wait, you already said that. Wait. Let's try again. No Ferrari for Adam stuff. Oh, you're... Sorry. I thought you said the exact same thing. You did change it.
He did almost, except for the Ferrari stuff.
Except for that part, yeah. I was like, dude... Anyway. I kind of agree with that. The Testarossa has aged far better.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the interior of the Countach? Dude, it's a joke. It like the dash, like it's just a box. It looks like someone literally took a cardboard box and glued it on the front of the car. It's horrible.
That's probably what they did until they realized that they couldn't actually sell it like that and had to design an actual dashboard.
Yeah. Add leather to it.
Right? Hey, this is really nice. Your website's gonna flourish from here on in because people are starting to see that you're really a truthful man and in pursuing a great life, a life with morality. Well, thank you. I'm trying hard, man. Trust me, it's hard. and you know, no matter what we do, we still get crapped on. So, all right,
well,
I think
but that's
Scott,
the internet as it is.
Right. All right, we're trying this again. All right,
Can
Scott.
you hear me? How about now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn your volume down.
Yes. I've been working with computers since I was about 11, and that was the longest it's ever taken me to solve anything so simple. Sorry to come in and stink up the joint right off the bat, but thanks for your patience.
Well, thank you, Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Sean? Wishing all you guys a happy New Year. Cheers. Yes, we are 2 days away?
A day and a half.
Day and a half ish. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. What pieces are you missing to finish the 599? Well,
why do people keep having to poke us in the open wound? That
right?
hurts.
Well, you got to remind me I've got this other Ferrari that's not running in 16 months. Computers and the shift system, I guess is the way to say it because, yeah. Anyway.
Shift system sounds, that can be a pretty big...
Right. Okay.
System,
All right. Hold on. Well, I want to catch up real quick on this one. Kippo character, which I love when it describes it. It's and then, hey, man, I'm not that great at English, and that's my first language. So what can I say?
It's your only language,
right? Yeah. Well, I know like 10 Spanish words, and I know how to curse in a few languages too, but that's about it. So the problem with the 599 is, and I think we've talked about this, but it's a solid shift bar, like it's a shift rod. It's not a shift cable, it's a shift rod. And so we replicated the OEM shift system so accurately that we reproduced the OEM vibration in the shifter. So if you didn't know, the 599 OEM shift car, the manual cars are garbage. Like it's terrible.
They rattle and
chatter, and it's terrible. Well, we did ours, and it did the same thing.
And we chased our ass for like 3 weeks trying to figure out what it was before our media person was like, "Oh no, they do that," and then pulled up a YouTube video of it doing it.
Yeah.
And we were like,
"Yeah."
3 weeks
So-
down the hole.
So we're trying to redesign it so that it doesn't chatter. And because the problem is, like, if we sell a car that chatters, no one's gonna believe us when we say, "Hey, the OEM cars do this." They're gonna be like, "Bullshit! You guys made a defective product," you know. So we can't have a chattery shifter.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. So anyway, we're working on it, and part of that was we were waiting for the CNC machine to get here because we didn't want to prototype parts in different parts of the world and have it take months, and because it just, yeah, that whole process just is a nightmare. But okay, so anyway, here's a great one. I can't imagine this dealer didn't know it was a Superleggera, given they have like 30 plus Lamborghinis in stock. No chance they didn't know what they have. I mean, look,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you are a sales guy and sell supercars,
You should
might-
probably know.
you
Yeah.
probably should know what
What do you think the
supercars.
chances are they're watching this right now?
I don't know. If so, say hi.
Stefan. Yeah.
Well, he lied to Scott as well, didn't he? When Scott was in the showroom.
Well, it
So
wasn't that wasn't the same guy.
So I talked to a different sales guy who I thought was like great. You know, I think the situation was highly dependent on the people that Dan was unfortunately having to deal with, because I went in there and spoke to the guy who was just really, really knowledgeable and upfront. As a matter of fact, when we were talking about it, I pointed out the green one because it was parked outside on the way in. And he immediately, you know, almost before I could finish my sentence, said, "No, it's not a Superleggera." The guy just stuck a vinyl package on it. We chatted a little bit about it, like instantaneously. And so,
Probably because he had just been made aware of that. Thanks to Dan.
there's that. And, you know, I'm not a, I'm trying, I went in there also just kind of not wanting to be, you know, biased or anything. I actually wanted to go in there and see the car, and then also look at, you know, a couple other things. I'm a fan, you know, as well. So, you know, I gave the, you know, the guy I was talking to the benefit of every, you know, doubt, and he just handled it perfectly. So again, you know, I think it's
It's who you get.
it's a situation of maybe a poorly ran business where one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing. There's no, you know, I guess, unified messaging going out to what cars are what, or something like that, or maybe just a salesperson who didn't do his homework.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because you know, standing there beside that car, it really has a presence. I was bummed that it wasn't going to go home to Dan, but then as soon as I got it, you know, I called Dan and I realized that there had been another one in the hopper. So I'm really happy about that, though.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, it's like, I guess the part that I'm bummed about is that car was going to definitely need work.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
no question, it was going to need work. So the new car doesn't really need much. The only thing that we probably will do is the clutch, because the clutch is only at 22% on the new car. So that's not great. I mean, that's 5 to 10,000 more miles, basically. But other than that, the new one, that's kind of about it. We're going to do the exhaust, obviously. So, but I mean, at the same time, like as you'll see in a video that's coming up very soon, I talk about our new strategy. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to flip cars fast. I don't want to own. That was actually a secondary motivation behind selling the 458 is I was very emotionally attached to that car. I'm not going to get emotionally attached to all the cars we own from now on, which will make it really easy for me to just be like, all right, in and out, right?
Someone mark this date down. Someone record that.
Yes. And apparently Mousetrap wants us to repeat the 599 issues to infinity, which, I mean, we probably do. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yes, and we got this question asked a lot, and we actually answer this in another video that's coming up soon. But
Yeah.
yes, of course, I read reviews of every single place before helping a client, before buying a car myself. Like, of course.
The
But
one caveat to that, though, is most people don't go online because they had a great
Yes.
experience. People only go online because they had a bad experience. And on top of that, people will think that they heard something that they never actually heard. And then when the dealership doesn't give it to them, they get all pissed off at them and then go and write a scathing review about it and say, oh, they
Right.
lied, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that that is the case with this dealership, because I think that history has shown, or, you know, the past couple of days have shown that, you know, reviews online can be accurate, but you still have to take those things with a grain of salt.
And so here is our thinking, right? We were taking a calculated risk. The goal was to get a car that needed work.
Yeah.
That car checked all the boxes we wanted, right? Super cheap, high mileage, beautiful, exotic Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera, right? Like that's, I mean, just think about like the clickbaity titles I could have done to all of you, right?
We bought the oldest or the cheapest and highest
Exactly.
mileage Lamborghini.
It writes itself. We weren't going to have to do shit. All we're going to have to do is show the car and be like, look, it's a piece of crap. And
And
we're
it
going to fix
wouldn't have
it.
even been clickbait, because it would have
Right.
been 100% accurate.
So we really were like, okay, let's take this risk. Let's gamble on this car because it's worth it. And basically, you got to understand, my mentality was, there's two things that will happen. We'll either get the car and hooray, we got this car and it's a turd. Great. Or we're not going to get the car and it's going to turn into a drama shit fest, and that's what happened. So either way, we win. The worst case scenario for me was I would be out $5,000, but that was a risk I was willing to take.
And hopefully,
So-
or thankfully, it didn't come to that.
Right.
So
It didn't. And the thing was, to me, like, that $5,000 would have probably been worth it either way, but still, like, you know, as soon as we start putting pressure on them with the YouTube channel, I don't think a dealer is going to withhold my $5,000. I mean, that's just a huge risk, right? Like, especially
that's
like,
straight up theft.
right? I mean, like, they just, that wasn't ever going to happen.
Kitty cat.
Oh, hello, we got a cat.
What's the cat's name?
Yeah. What's the cat's
Sorry,
name?
Dan. This is Cassie. We got
Yes.
brother and sister, two ragdolls. That's why I was looking around, because they have a funny 20 minutes where they beat the hell out of each other and then they go to sleep together.
That's what all cats do at like 2 a.m. though. They get up and they're like, "Oh, we have to
here you
wake
go.
everybody up."
Tyler, what are you drinking?
Fancy
What is
beer.
that?
Dre Fontaine, Oud Goose.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Oh, hello. Megan's here. Hold on. All right, I gotta turn off the.
It's New Year's
hold on.
after all, so
Let me change my headphone settings and stuff. Audio.
Hey, Megan.
yeah.
Love your empathetic reviews.
There it is.
She can't hear us quite yet.
Oh. Hold on. Say something again.
Meg.
Hello, Scott. It's good to see you, sweetheart.
There you go.
Oh, so good to see you.
I really enjoyed your contributions.
My wife didn't.
Well, I
I'm
deeply
glad
empathize.
someone's wife did.
yeah.
Yeah.
That black hole just grew a little bit more because of that.
There's
Hey,
not
so
enough
she's making
Lamborghinis to fill that black hole.
You will be
God.
having Lamborghinis for the rest of your life now.
Yeah. Fun fact, she was hovering around me when I started filming the first of that. And then if she had not walked away, I would not have said what I said. And she walked away a few words before that, and I changed course.
Holy crap, Chris.
Oh,
Way
my
too
goodness.
Oh
kind.
wow! Holy
Oh,
cow!
wow. Yeah.
For the Meg factor. The Meg factor. By the way, can you hear her just fine? Because I have the microphone kind of centered a little bit. But
Can you guys hear me?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
okay, good.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, what is this? Whoppy, Ferrari, Lambo, Porsche, porn time with drama.
Someone asked how Ash is, and thank you very much,
Oh,
John,
the di-
and Mousetrap.
The diaper fund.
The diaper
yes.
fund. Yes, no, that diaper fund money has been put to good use for sure.
Yes. Oh, actually, that's an excellent question. And again, this will be discussed in the video that's coming out soon, but I mean, there's only like 160 something people watching right now or whatever, 150. So I'll tell you anyway. Adam and I discussed for months what car we were going to do next, like months, legitimately. And what we concluded is we wanted to do a Gallardo because it had the broadest appeal.
Yeah.
Not because it was the car that I personally wanted the most. Like, I personally want a Murcielago, big time. Like, I guarantee you, I will own a Murcielago at some point. That doesn't make sense as much from a business perspective because they only made a couple thousand Murcielagos. They made 14,000 Gallardos, and the Gallardos, the quote unquote normal guy can still afford them. So that's why we were very interested in that. There you go.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Well, maybe it's
Because
That's the
we-
wider net.
right.
We're not there yet. Maybe one day we would be able to afford that.
Well, you might if you fucking sold the 599.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Damn.
sick burns.
How much longer is how much?
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah. Yeah. How many glasses have you had?
Sorry.
All of them.
Here, I'll scoot
How much
over a little
longer
bit.
is the Murcielago compared to the 458?
What's that?
How much longer is it than the 458, the Murcielago? Would it fit in your garage okay?
Oh yeah, it'll fit.
Yeah,
It'd be a little bit of a squeeze.
this is America. We're fat and we have fat garages.
Dude, no, my garage is not big.
Well, our garage is pretty standard, but probably by UK standards, I mean,
Yeah, it's
Probably.
massive, your garage, compared to us. I mean, we have massive garage envy looking at your guys' your garages you have over there. Christ. I mean, we live in an 1875 cottage, and so we're very lucky to have a garage. And
Yep.
we had to cut some of the front face off the garage to get the 458 in there.
You're kidding.
Holy cow!
No.
Really?
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need to
How
do
long
a
did-
garage tour for your.
Yeah, how long did
channel.
that take?
There's a video up. Check the
There is a
channel.
video. Okay.
Oh, is there one? I subscribe.
Yeah.
what is the gentleman's channel?
It is Rich Reviews. One word.
Rich Reviews in UK. Are you guys which part of England?
We're in the southwest of UK, so we're not too far away from Bath.
Okay,
Nice.
that's where all the aristocracy used to go and have their leisure months.
I linked his channel. Go subscribe, people.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Adam.
Shmi has a good garage.
Yeah, I was just watching your
Warehouse.
1 year 458 video before this during work.
There's a video there. Garage for my Ferrari. Got to try and use a catchy title.
Doorway to my Ferrari.
Doorway to my Ferrari. That's
Oh,
it.
Oh,
Dude,
that's a good one.
I swear, coming up with like titles is the worst. It's so hard. Like trying to think of a way to like make it like, how do I turn this very boring, mundane topic into something sexy? You know, and it's just like,
At one point,
Yeah.
Dan had this college student.
yeah, I hired this kid
That's
to
all
tell the
he did.
titles and thumbnails. That's all I did. So like, there's a period of time on the channel, if you go back looking through the history, where the thumbnails and titles are all like really
Exuberant.
salacious and kind of bullshitty. And it was all when this kid I was paying him to read this stuff, and like he did a great job. I mean, admittedly, my views went up. It legit works. But I felt so guilty about it. I'm like, no, and I eventually told him to stop.
They
So-
say it's all titles and thumbnails, don't they? YouTube.
Oh, I mean,
Get people
click-through rate is everything.
Yep.
Click-through
We're
rate.
getting
and-
more subscribers. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh, you did? All right.
You just got another 8. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're at that stage now where we see each one coming in. You know, we notice each one.
Hey, I still see each one
Stage.
come in. We still see it. We
I
still
do. Dude, I refreshed.
Switch the
I
pairs.
sent Dan probably 10 screenshots today of like getting closer to 70,000.
like, look, it's almost there. Look,
We
look.
hit 70,000 and then one person unsubscribed, so it went down to 69.
That's not just us that does that.
No, dude, it never goes away. You always want that.
So
real
I,
quick. Oh,
we
I was
just
gonna
got
say,
another one. So,
thoughts on Lamborghinis becoming reliable and usable like the Huracan? We're seeing mileage over 70,000 plus miles with relatively little issues. Yeah, I mean, the modern supercars, anything made in the mid to late 2000s and later is a different thing. You know,
Yeah.
they just are.
That's why
So-
the E-Gear is so scary to me.
No, I mean the E-Gear is basically the same thing as the F1 and the Ferraris. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right. That's exactly right. So the cars that are in my price range are the ones that are generally going to have the F1 or the E-Gear. So,
but like
so
everyone,
you mean like the 360 price rate?
oh, Adam's favorite.
you know,
Hey.
every time Adam zings me, I can never come back with anything. He's too good.
Yeah, no, look,
I got to be good at something.
the F1 system gets so much shit, and it's undeserved. It's really not bad. It's not like, the problem is everyone got so used to like dual clutches, because you go drive a dual clutch and like, this is perfect, but then you go drive an F1 and it's kind of a little bit clunky and stuff, but they're fun. They're really fun. I liked having my 430, and I look forward to driving the Superleggera. I think it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
It is. That car is gonna be a riot. By the way, Adam, you're not gonna fit in that fucking thing.
Thanks.
Scott,
we all know here that you weren't talking about tall.
yes, I was, because Scott is, I think, the same height as you, and Scott was like, when I talked to him, he's like, dude, fitting in that thing's not gonna be easy.
I'm pretty sure Scott's taller than me.
How tall are you, Scott?
6'3".
Oh, yeah, he's 3 inches taller than me.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Everybody's tall to us, sweetheart.
yeah, I'm just short. So what can I
It
say?
depends where your height is as well, because if your height is in your upper body, then it's
Yep.
more problematic.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's a great point. I was explaining to Dan that I had plenty of headroom in that era of Gallardo. Maybe a few inches. I felt like I could even get a helmet on if I needed to, but the cramped area was my legs. My left knee was kind of kicked up. I don't know, maybe 3 inches higher than I do in my other sports car or something like that. So, I mean, it would take some getting used to, but you're definitely right. The space that's lacking in there is kind of forward of the seat.
So like
To me,
this
anyway.
question comes up a lot. You read a lot of people saying, oh, like let off the gas when you shift and blah, blah, blah. The computer does it for you. Don't. Like if you
Keep it down.
right, like if you start changing throttle pressure while shifting, it wigs the computer out. It actually makes it worse, in my opinion. So like, and the other thing is like, you read a lot of people are like, oh, like you got to put them in neutral at a stoplight. And it's like, the only reason to do that is to save the throwout bearing. But the clutch only lasts 40,000 miles. So you're going to be replacing the throwout bearing every 40,000 miles. Who cares? Like so no, like those are, in my opinion, those are all like myths of the F1 transmission that people just keep repeating ad nauseum. And it's just kind of, anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was driving one recently. We helped James JM on Cars.
Yeah. Yep.
Doing some videoing with the Challenge Stradale and the Testarossa, and the Challenge Stradale. It's second
And the Scuderia.
and the and the Daddy Scuderia for half a day as well. Hence the last review we did.
Yep.
But it really surprised me that the Challenge Stradale. I mean, the gearbox was very clunky relative to a 458. It's a single plate clutch, and it just is very clunky in relation. But the thing that really surprised me about the Stradale was the performance. It just didn't hit anything until about 6.
Yeah.
Get up to about 6.5, and then it pulled. But it was just all scream before then. It was all exhaust noise, but not much go.
Yeah.
I got out of it quite deflated, really.
Yeah. I don't want to crap on the 360s too hard, but like it is,
Yes, you do.
it is 100 horsepower less than the 430, 100. And that's, I mean, so when you drove the Scuderia,
Yeah,
totally different experience, right?
Yeah,
and the Scuderia's transmission is butter. Like even in the F1, well, because it's not even the SF1, it's the SF2 transmission. It has different synchros, it has a different shift fork. It's slightly different. Believe it or not, the shift fork actually has beveled edges. So when it shifts, it doesn't shift like that. It shifts kind of like diagonal. So it's faster. So it shaves off a ton of time. It's really fascinating stuff. Like when you really get into it.
Noticeably a lot smoother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Adam. And NZ guy, hello to you too. I saw that you said cheers earlier. Ash is sleeping.
Yeah. His bedtime's right around 8 something usually.
Yeah. Generally between 8 and 8:30. Love you, Meg. Thanks, New Zealand guy.
Aww.
Oh, Rachel, yes. This is a YouTuber, Rich Reviews from the UK. He's from England, and this is his son.
Actually, Rachel, like a lot of the people in other countries love Texan accents. You should come over and talk.
Oh my God, Rachel, we need some of your West Texas.
She's got like serious West Texas going on.
Yeah, no, she says the word no. It has 16 vowels. In it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's not
It's
no.
a droll.
It's
Yeah.
no.
I need her to say ice chest because I love when Texans say ice chest.
Ice.
I can't pass the credit
Yeah.
fully on to English. I'm half Belgian, so
Ooh.
Ah,
on my father's side,
Oh.
yeah.
To make it even more fascinating, Rachel's husband is from New Zealand. So now she's got this mash of Texas and New
As does
Zealand.
Kent.
Yeah, and Kent does a little bit too.
It's a
so
West Texas, New Zealand
It's-
hybrid.
It's hilarious because they'll be like, she'll be like, "Nah, mate." I love it. I love our cul-de-sac. We have the best neighbors. You need to, one of these days, Rachel. You need to come on the live. I mean,
She's shy.
I know she's
Not
shy.
really.
You could just hide.
She's
off,
YouTube shy.
You could hide off camera and just talk.
Just talk.
Yeah,
People want to hear you say stuff.
yeah, they do.
Adam,
No, mate.
Adam, I didn't buy the Lambo. I did go in there, for Dan, but I also wanted to go in there. I have a price range, and I'm just looking. I'm trying to decide on what. You know what I mean? I've been a Lamborghini guy all my life, but now that I'm kind of at the time where I could really consider buying one,
Do it.
I'm not sure. And so I wanted to see what that yellow
This is
car.
top of the market.
Not in the
Yeah.
Lambo world.
The
Yeah.
Lambos didn't have a corresponding increase.
They went up a little, but not like the Ferraris did.
Yeah, but I wanted to see what that mileage car with 11 owners would feel like and look like, what condition, what it was. I'm just poking around. So I didn't go in. I mean, I had two really motives to go in there, but I did not buy that Lambo. And even if that was like the flawless car and I fell in love with it right then, I would not buy it from them. Even though, like I said, my salesman made me very comfortable and I was confident in him, I still would
No.
pass that. It was just too much.
Really
We go
fast.
for the, we wouldn't go for the Audi then, Scott. The Hurricane.
Yeah. I don't think I have Hurricane money, and the Audi is as much as I love seeing them. I love being around them, but I've never like lusted after an Audi. And so I don't know that I'd be able to really like fork down that money over, on a platform that was very similar to something I have lusted over. So I would stick with the Lamborghini, but
I got an idea. I just had an idea, Scott.
Yes.
So after the Superleggera,
Okay.
we'll go find like a really cheap Gallardo that needs some work, some love. We'll fix up the channel and give it to you exactly at our cost.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't want a Gallardo.
Well, if you want a Gallardo.
Okay.
I think
All
he
right.
would take a
Accept.
Gallardo
Yes,
at
that
that
works
cost.
great for me.
Yeah, I think at that deal
Depends
he
what
would
cost
take it.
is, I guess.
Yeah, I think that was a yes.
Yeah, I think that sounds awesome. I mean, really, when I was talking about being afraid of an Eager earlier, it's because I know they require a lot of maintenance and the type of upkeep, and I am mechanically declined.
Yep.
So, without a resource of someone like Dan to lean on so closely since I've moved out of state, I'm a little nervous about it.
I like this one. We added a rap music video rental service as one of our latest things. Now we're getting a Lambo.
Oh, you so should.
Want to hear a funny, quick anecdote about cars being used for rental services? Those of you that remember the whole CNC saga, I'm sure a lot of you do. The poor bastard whose Ferrari 360 totally was a shitbox and kept having all these issues with it. I talked to him recently because people keep saying, "Oh, you need to talk to him. You need to like see about getting his car on the channel and fixing it up," which I offered to him. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from him. But he's been renting his car out for like parties and videos and stuff. And he's making decent money on it. So he's like, "Yeah, I have to like go bring the car to places." And yeah, Matt. And so like you just sets the car there, and people pay him like hundreds of dollars for a single night to have it there for a couple hours.
Wow.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Matt.
And
Yeah.
Ken in the comments earlier, someone else was talking, just bought a 430, so congrats.
Oh,
Oh,
I
nice.
missed that one.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Nice one, yeah.
there's a whole bunch poured in, so I just wanted to shout them out before.
That's
Got
true.
lost.
Matt is in the
Oh,
he is in the business, so he's got connections.
yeah, okay,
So-
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when did somebody just put a thing on Craigslist or Facebook like
Right.
rent my car for static?
Yeah. I love when Rachel gives you shit, Adam.
I wasn't aware I was gonna get fashion advice on this stream today.
It does look pretty bad with the red against the orange. You kind of like it looks like your camera had an error. Wait, oh really? Do you have pictures, Chris? We want pictures of the hot model. We've seen your car.
Yeah. Don't busy up the photos with the car. Just
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he blew a hose or something on Christmas Eve? I didn't know about that. Oh, man. He just can't win, dude.
Nefarious asks, any New Year's resolutions? My New Year's resolution is to not be as negative towards the 360.
Aw.
That's very good. That's honorable.
Yeah.
My resolution is to stop getting dragged into these shithole things I don't want to do on my channel.
You just need to accept it, Dan.
No, seriously don't want this.
You know, it's very stressful to my life too.
Sure.
I mean,
You're like so any stress I'm feeling is amplified and then bounced back times 10.
Like the whole I'm rubber, you're glue type thing?
Yeah. So like any stress that I get gets amplified by her, so then I'm extra stressed.
It really
Yeah.
showed in your last video, Dan, how stressed you were with the situation when you're chatting to Cario again. You could really tell it. It was really heartfelt. You know, you couldn't hide that.
Oh, I was pissed. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been as mad as I was, but I started losing it.
Dude, you can tell when Dan's in his feelings. He doesn't do the stiff upper lip thing.
I actually was joking with myself because I'm like, I have the world's worst poker face. Like I just can't. I'd never play poker because I would lose every cent I own. And man, like when I get that mad about certain things, I just can't even hide it. And like I wasn't even that mad, but I was not very. We need a mega review of the shape.
Yeah.
You know, the watching the video and talking to you on the phone about it, it was exhausting.
Yes.
Just assuming and trying to put my feet in your shoes in the situation, it was exhausting. So I don't know if you should feel bad at all about how you reacted in any way, because you know, whether it's $55,000 or $100,000, if you've got something on the line and someone's jerking you around, I mean, you know, you could get that angry about
I don't
something.
know that Dan felt at any moment that he was going to lose his $5,000. I don't.
There was a moment when I was concerned when they first said we're going to send you a check. After all my experience with CNC Motors, I was like, no, no. That to me was like, there's no like I'm very serious. If they were like, we're sending you a check and you're not going to get a wire, I was going to get on that plane. I don't know what the hell I was going to do, but I was like, I'm going to get.
I was going to be there and I was going to be mad.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, if I don't get there, I'm never getting this money back. So the fact they sent a wire, when that wire finally hit the account, my stress level dropped by like 90%. But then the crazy part is we moved on. Like I was like, Adam was over. We're filming a video. I'm like, I don't want anything else to do with them. I'm like, we're moving on. Like I just want to get the next car and start working on the next car. I don't want to deal with this crap. Like I've already done CNC Motors. I don't want to do this again. It's stuck.
Just accept it.
And then all of a sudden we're wrapping up shooting, and here's my phone with like multiple missed phone calls.
Keith.
Oh, thank you, Keith.
I love that because since he didn't put anything in it, video game controller dances goofily under the word woot.
Woot.
Yeah.
And by the way, sorry to cut you off, but
no worries.
The judge and Ven are going to have an aneurysm if I don't acknowledge them in the chat. So hello, Ven and the judge.
Hello,
Yeah,
Vin.
so-
Hello, Judge.
Oh, I didn't see
Continue
Ben's here.
on.
Yeah, Vin's here.
Shit, I missed it all. Sorry, I'm talking
It's
too
because you've
much.
been
And Ben-
rambling.
Yeah.
After
yeah.
the first video, Vin, did you go and put some review on Cario Motorsport?
I think he did. Can I just say this real quick? Please don't do that,
Yeah.
guys. Like, don't put up a bunch of fake reviews. Like, that's like, I understand that they've done bad things, but that doesn't mean we should do bad things too, right? Like, be better than that.
And on top of that, like somebody else said, when they get flooded with negative reviews, it makes it easier for them to
Yeah.
have them removed because it's like
Yeah.
obviously a targeted attack at that point.
Yeah, Yelp will freeze accounts and
Yeah.
peel back everything within a certain window
Yeah.
of dates.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it actually almost kind of hurts the case if you do it that way.
That part of it was
Yeah, that was special.
that was the best. Like, just want to let you know, the car's available, but we're not going to sell it to you. I was
But
like,
wait, there's more, and there will be more coming in the videos.
Ooh.
In a
Yeah,
bit.
there's more to this saga.
so okay. Well,
No.
I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm just going to tell you a quick side note. I did get another call today, and there's going to be a video about that.
Oh, jeez.
It's
They
like
can't
those-
stop digging, can they?
It's like
Yeah,
those bad
another
commercials
studio
from the
Leggero.
90s.
I'll just put it that way. It's
But wait, there's more.
right. I kind of told myself that that's the last video I'm going to do about this, no matter what. I just don't want to go there. I just don't want to go in that direction. And I know. Look, like everyone's like, "Oh, this is so exciting and drama," and it's like, try being on my side of the fence. It sucks. It sucks so bad. It really is, and it's not what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be Dan the vigilante who runs around trying to bust the bad people. Like, no, like I want to wrench on a car. Like,
Yeah, no, and it's not Dan's natural state to
be angry.
it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's like when he was saying like
Going for the hat trick.
I saw that too.
Sorry, man, I didn't mean to cut you off.
that's okay.
But that would be nuts if this happened. If we found a third dealer.
Oh no. Oh,
But
God.
you have a hard time with supercar used car dealerships. They're all kind of shades of awful, aren't they?
They are.
So that's the thing is you could do that forever, but it's also like that's a stressful way to build a sub base. And then remember that I'm normal still, quote unquote, during the day, professional, and then like not that my people in my circle really watch the supercar stuff, but like I know at any moment when my husband is cursing out some asshat in Florida in this like I'm like, oh, okay. And and so any of my colleagues or any of I'm sure they do. I know some of my employees watch for a fact, but it's like, like you can't call someone like F-Face McGee on a YouTube video, and it's like,
Sure, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta quack out the F part.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
grew
be
up in
careful.
construction. I've heard my dad call people names that I definitely will not repeat on this.
Construction's bad for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to be
Yeah.
careful, Dan, because you'll get known for that, won't you? You'll build a subscriber base that will subscribe for you just for that, and then you're
Right.
into that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
And they'll
and
expect
leave.
that. And I'm not like, that's not going to be possible. Like, I'm not going to seek out intentionally to put myself in these situations. Like this, like, like we did take a calculated risk. We knew that the reviews weren't good. We knew that there was a possibility that it was going to go bad. But this is not what I expect. Like, I fully expected, like, honest to God, Adam and I discussed it ad nauseum. I said, what's going to happen is we're going to fly out there. We're going to see this car, and it's going to be worse than we expected. That's what I thought. And my mind, the worst case scenario was it wasn't going to be drivable. That's what I was worried about. I was like, we're going to get out there and we're not going to be able to drive it home. That's what I was scared about. I wasn't scared that it was like this jerk me around weird thing that happened, right? Like I didn't think that's how it was going to play out. So I admit, like, I had a failure of imagination in that perspective because it just, I was like, what?
And the
So-
fact you had to call in to instigate that, to get that knowledge,
Well,
that's incredible.
here's the thing that I keep asking myself, and Adam and I have discussed this multiple times. What was their plan?
We still can't figure it out.
Yeah.
What were they going to do if we showed up?
I think Adam's dad is here.
Is he?
Hello, Mr. Helm.
Yeah, like imagine Adam and I showed up there. I don't like, and then they're like, oh, and hey, you can't have the car.
But here's the thing: you guys, you know, God love them. They know exactly what they're doing. But you're not a channel where you're like gonna like threaten to take someone out back and beat the
Right.
shit
It
out
wouldn't
of
have been
them.
like that, but
It's like when it's like
But-
I'm like, what are you really gonna do?
but no,
That would have been my
What are
job.
you really gonna do?
here's the thing. What would have happened is if we would have gone there to pick up the car and it would not have been available, I would have done like 50 videos about it. I would have gone out of my way to make their life hell, right? Like I would, because I would have been so pissed. It would have just given me a mission. Like and versus this, like, you know, again, I'm like getting my feelings. Like
Look
if
what
they,
Christopher Jones said. How about a
What?
reality TV show where Dog the Bounty Hunter, where Dan hunts down and exposes shady guy? We need to get you one of like those armbands with
Yeah.
feathers on it.
I gotta grow out a mullet and stuff and get a spray tan.
And you gotta say "brah" a lot. What's up, brah?
Side channel.
Yeah, just the part that boggles my mind, if they had just called, that's all they had to do. If they had called me as soon as they knew something was up, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly poor form for them not to call you knowing you were getting on a plane.
Right.
What
Like,
were they gonna do?
right. That's what I'm saying. Like I told them my flight schedule. I told them we're staying at the hotel next to their dealership. They knew my whole plan. They knew exactly everything that was going on. And then they like didn't do anything, and they knew the situation evolved.
Well, but there, like I said, but wait, there's more. So when these videos come out that I'm talking about, you guys will be even more confused about what their game plan is because Dan and I still can't figure out what they're trying to do after all the events that happened today. Like, there's just more information that's even more nuts.
It's
Like
Wow,
how
yeah.
in this day and age, now that there is YouTube and I have
Right.
I've been introduced to this illustrious YouTube car culture where like news like this spreads so quickly.
right.
How do you be a scammer in an industry that is this like people get really microscopic if you do something scammy
Oh yeah.
The supercar world is small. Like it's
and rich?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so actually, I think the wealthy component of it is actually one of the reasons it is pervasive because you get people who are too busy and too distracted or have so much money they don't care, right? So it becomes the like, I'll just throw money at the problem kind of stuff, or I don't have the time to deal with this bullshit.
Oh, yeah. What was his name who got his two very expensive cars basically stolen from CNC? And he seemed emotionally okay about it.
He forgot he even owned one of the
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
Oh
He
wow.
literally forgot one of the cars even existed.
I
Oh,
wish I had that kind of money.
Was
Right.
it the dude with the law Ferrari?
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah.
Who was a
Over
super
here, they're
nice
really
guy?
wealthy.
I'm not even
Over here, they're
passing.
really-
So, I mean that like when you so I know some extraordinarily wealthy people in the car world and they have a different position in life and legitimately they don't have the time to worry about that crap. So it would be super easy for them to just say, I want that car, doesn't matter, here's some money, and then they get it and they go, fuck, it's a piece of shit. Oh well, throw some money on it, move on. They don't
What
even
was
have the time
Rich
to
trying to say? It sounded like Rich was
Sorry,
trying to
yeah.
say something.
Oh yeah, in the UK, really wealthy people they don't actually engage with the third parties. They use a broker.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
broken-
a little bit
broken
here
as well.
too, yeah.
Is it possible they would have attempted to fix the car before or by
No.
the time you reached there?
No,
No, I don't think no.
they had no intention of fixing it.
I don't think so.
And you guys will find out in the next couple of days that it's what they're saying about that wasn't even true. So
Hit
it's
like and
just-
subscribe to get notifications about the next car.
Yeah, right.
dude, it's
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to
Here's
oversell it or anything like that.
No,
but
here's the problem. We had more stuff happen today that we're not even sure how to present it.
Wow.
As you
Like,
said,
we're
you
just-
ordered inventory for the next month and it's telling
Well,
you can't
so-
buy them.
Here's my dilemma. I want to move on. Like, I legitimately was ready to move on. That's why we filmed a bunch of other stuff. That's why we bought this other car that we're going to go pick up in 4 days or whatever. So we're trying to move on. I didn't want to like get dragged down this rabbit hole. And then like crap keeps happening that pulls us back in. And I'm like, damn it. Like, I can't let that go because I feel like we're being dishonest to the story.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's incomplete and things like anyway. So yeah. So someone is saying like literally just move on. Well, that's basically what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's the dilemma I have is where do I cut it off? Where do I say no more? I don't want to deal with it anymore.
When your wife in bed next to you at night is like,
When she shoots me.
stop. Stop. When the CNC thing was going on
Oh.
and he was texting, what's his name, Clayton in bed at night at like midnight. And like, Clayton's like, take the videos down, Dan, take them down. Come on, man. You're hurting my feelings, Dan. And it's like in the middle of the fucking night. Dan's like, he wants me to take the videos down. I told him to give the cars back. Told him to give the title back. And he won't do it. I have to go to real work. And no, my husband, like, God love him. He manifested his destiny and he's doing this for a living. But it's stressful. Plus, you have like CNC guys, as much as I knew that they didn't have a case, like they're threatening to sue us. Even when they're bullshitty, I don't like people sending me, well, it's not me, sending him cease and desist orders.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing. You know,
Well, Dan,
Yeah.
you brace yourself because if y'all run the amount of cars y'all are gonna try to run through the channel and
We're gonna get crap. It's gonna happen.
you're gonna have a lot of highs and a lot of lows and
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And yes, that's gonna happen. And it's just it's a where do you draw the balance, right? What's the right balance of how aggressive to pursue this sort of stuff versus just move on and that sort of thing? Because it's like from selfish standpoint, look at what it does for the channel. Like, it's big views, it's big interest. So it's hard to say I'm going to intentionally not pursue that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to purposely not make as much money. That's literally what I'm doing to have to move on from some of those things. I'm saying I'm choosing to make less money.
Jeez, somebody donated $25. Thank you.
Wow.
someone asked about Smash or Pass. Interesting thing about that series.
Yeah. So we kind of nixed Smash or Pass because
But-
they did so poorly.
You know what? I invented that concept because that is every conversation every car guy has ever
True.
in their garage
True.
every day
It's a true story.
until the end of time.
It was a
Yeah,
fun
but we're
series.
not talking about the cars smash or pass.
right.
Yeah.
No, it sucks because here's the catch with Smash or Pass. Everyone who watched it loved it. No one clicked on it.
Yep.
So how do you create that in a salacious thumbnail and a salacious title to get people to click it? Because the concept worked. Like, people loved it. Everyone who watched it, the comments were great. But if you go look at the data, it's terrible. It's
We are-
terrible. They did.
We are a
horrible.
data-driven channel.
Yeah, like someone today was like, "I can't believe you're doing this stupid video. It's like bad for your channel." I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's
Look at the
actually really
data.
good.
Yeah.
Like, we picked up more subscribers and have more views this week than in the last 2 months.
Wow.
Think about that. 1 week.
But it's such a stressful way to live. Can you imagine?
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I would.
Can you
yeah.
imagine like being DDE with all and
Oh, no.
and they're not exactly drama avoidant. They actively pursue it.
Right.
Totally.
Do they just have a huge distress tolerance, or are they stressed?
Or they're just
So stressed out.
like so out of it they don't even notice.
That's
Oh,
probably
actually,
why.
so right, 2 comments in a row. Smash or pass with bikini models, okay, and boobs in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I was just looking at Rachel's comment. Yeah.
Yep.
I
She
mean,
offering?
she's not.
You said that?
Who said that?
I don't know when the next NGS photo shoot is.
Oh yeah, we do.
I've
need
got ideas for it. It's kind of halfway planned, but I don't know when it will come to fruition. But any of our regular players are welcome to.
I subbed this channel today at 4 a.m. when the Curio video popped up, and I had insomnia, and then realized this poor guy got it worse than me.
You don't have it that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a
Is that-
shady dealership story if you want to hear it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I don't
Do
think
it.
I've told you guys. So
No.
when we were buying the F types,
Yeah.
I was originally looking for
I think
one.
it's more wine and beer.
My dad liked the cars as well, so he wanted to buy one as well.
Thank you.
He figured buying 2, more power and numbers would get better deal. He found the clearancing dealerships that sell the new old stock, and all of them were super weird about it except for Jaguar Las Vegas, and they were very upfront. The car had 70 miles on it, not 3,000. I think there's one in San Antonio or Houston that is a clearancing dealer for Jaguar, and they're still selling those cars as new, but had 3,000 miles on it. It's like, that's not a new car. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we went with Jaguar Las Vegas. They had 2 of them, new old stock, 70 miles on it. You guys have seen the car.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
He told us this was February of 2018. He told us we had to activate the cars in January, their warranties, and Jaguar has a 5-year warranty, so it was like 1 year or 1 month off of the warranty. No big deal, right? Buy the cars. My dad already told me, because he got in a day earlier. He told me, he's like, I brought a cashier's check. I told this guy, this is the amount. I'm bringing a cashier's check. I'm not paying you anymore. He's like, he already tried to screw me and up the deal. So he's like, just be prepared when you buy yours.
Right.
So we went through it, bought it all. Leaving the dealership, he goes, okay, so you guys have 13 months to get your first oil change, because part of the 5-year Jag warranty is 5 years of free oil changes. So 13 months to get your free oil change. Great. He said it to all 3 of us. My mom was there. We have witnesses for both of our cars. 13 months to get your first oil change. Thank God my car broke and started leaking oil, because when they fixed my car, the differential, the transfer case, all-wheel drive differential, the service tech in Albuquerque was like, hey, so you want your oil change? If you got to do it this month or you lose all of them.
Wait.
Wow.
Wait.
Yeah.
So if you don't do the oil change, you lose all of them?
Yeah. So if you don't do it on their schedule, you lose all the free ones.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, so he told me, he's like, so if you don't do this right now, you're going to lose all your oil changes. I was like, well, I was told I have 13 months. Why would I change the oil in a car with, at that time, 1,000 miles? Because I drove it home. And he's like, well, no, this car was activated in March of 2017.
Oh, man.
So there was a year missing off the warranty, not 1 month. And this guy straight up lied about all that. And, my dad, having time on his hands, went to Jaguar North America, complained all the way up to getting a meeting with a VP of sales. And basically they said, well, they gave you a discount, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, what are you complaining about?
Jaguar said this?
Yep.
Whoa.
Jaguar North America said this.
Wow.
basically-
Ask the guys from the UK to say Jaguar.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Yeah. Okay, I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
And,
Aluminium.
aluminium.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
Actually,
said,
I think
yeah.
I need you to just
Our
record the
language.
audio, and then every time we say Jaguar, we'll just put that. We'll
There
just
you go. Yeah. So ultimately, Jaguar wouldn't help us, and they basically said, well, they gave you a discount, and ultimately, my dad was like, well, if this is the kind of representation you want your dealers to be giving your brand, no wonder you have shitty sales.
Yeah.
And they basically agreed with us. So
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people falsely were saying, "Oh, this is why I only go to Ferrari dealerships or Lamborghini dealerships. Like,
Yep.
and I'm sitting here like, dude, does not matter. Like,
Nope.
I would say you have a higher percent chance of it being honest, but it still, like, I mean, I know multiple stories from Ferrari dealerships where the Ferrari dealerships flat out lied to people and screwed them over.
Well,
Like-
they were rolling back odometers, right?
Yeah.
I find in the UK, you have to buy from the salesman, and you just have to hope that the salesman's a good one. And we
they're
built a
trustworthy.
relationship up with our sales guy, a massive, a really main, one of the biggest, biggest in the UK, really,
Biggest in Europe.
Oh, wow.
dealer, Ferrari dealer, and pretty much we bought the salesman. We'd known him for 9 months. We've been building up a relationship with him over a long period of time. Test drove the 458, etc. And then when it was right to buy one, it was he just looked after us, and he's looked after me subsequently as well, because
That's
the
awesome.
MIT unit's gone on the car, and it was there. It was faulty when I picked the car up, and when I mentioned it when I picked the car up that there seems to be a glitch on the screen, and I referenced that when it went in to have it looked into, and I spoke to the sales guy, and he said, yeah, fair enough, yeah, put it on us. We're going to pay for it all. So yeah.
Man, we need that. The way things are going, it looks like Dan will need Dr. Phil here in the next live. Happy New Year from Southampton. Damn, we got another person in the UK.
Hey.
When we
You guys
bought the Porsche, I drove it home with the windows down, and when I got home, I couldn't roll the windows up.
Oh no.
And we bought it used, so it was as there's no warranty. Well, I called the dealership, and at first I was like, hey, is there a special way to roll the windows up in this car? Because I had never owned a car like a Porsche before. And he was like, no.
Push the button.
Yeah, he was like, no, you just roll it up like any other car. And I was like, well, then the window quit working on the way home. And he was like, okay. He was like, give me a couple of minutes. Let me go talk to somebody. I'll call you back. And I was like, yeah, he's going to call me back. No shit. Like 3 minutes later, he called me back. He was like, hey, bring it in tomorrow. We'll fix it for free. Your window should work more than 20 minutes after you buy a car. And I was like, all right.
Damn, that's nice.
So that was the Porsche dealer in Boise. So if anybody here is in Boise looking for a Porsche, there you go.
I had my Mustang Cobra, the one that got totaled after 7 days of owning it.
Mhm.
The reason I took it to the shop that ended up joyriding it and totaling it was because right after, like 2 days after I bought it, it was losing coolant. And so I called the dealership I bought it from. I'm like, hey man, it's losing coolant. I think it's got a coolant leak somewhere. And they said, well, tell you what, go get an estimate on it and we'll split the cost half, which they didn't have to do anything. Like there's no warranty, no nothing. And the fact that they offered that was awesome. And so like, I told them well after that, I said, like, you guys were a stand-up dealer, you guys were a stand-up dealership, but obviously the place that did the service and totaled my car is not so good. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
We find in the UK that dealerships get a bad name and a good name, and I think some of it comes from the fact that a lot of people don't know how to talk properly to the dealerships. They go in there saying, "I'm going to sue your ass," and "I'm going to do this." And these dealers, they've got lawyers. They spend a fortune with. They don't listen to any of that. And you've got to speak to them properly. At least go in there first of all and say, "Look, please, can you help me out here? Can you sort this out, etc., etc."
Right.
Don't go in there so hard edged. A lot of them go in so hard edged. I know even with the dealership I bought mine from, I know people have gone in there hard edged and they've got zero.
Yeah. You don't need to come in guns blazing first thing. Like, try and appeal to reason first. And that was like,
and granted, Dan had a good outcome in his case, but he also has a platform now where if he were just a regular guy that had said what he'd said to the dealer, he wouldn't have gotten calls from the owner. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think Dan would have been treated the same way if he didn't have this platform. I think the young man who you saw in the video that he took calls from, like, looked later and like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I was trying to think to myself, like, I told him I was gonna put this on my YouTube channel.
He's probably like, yeah, your YouTube.
And he probably
channel.
was like, okay, whatever, right? And I'm like, all right, man. Like, I'm gonna talk about this on my YouTube channel. It's not gonna be good.
Well,
And
one thing I learned when I was in insurance is if you threaten legal action, I bet most companies are like my insurance company was. When people threaten legal action, that's it.
Yep.
Now everything is forwarded to the legal department. Whether or not you're serious or not, you now are dealing with our lawyers, and maybe not this dealership because it's kind of he may have a badass lawyer. Who knows?
You never know.
But my insurance company, dude, we had so many lawyers on retainer. I loved it when people threatened legal action because people threatened legal action weren't people I wanted to deal with anyway. So when they said that, it gave me a legitimate reason to never have to talk to them again.
You're like, all right, bye. See you later.
I
Not
was
my
so
problem.
happy. I was so happy when they would.
Yeah, I know about lawyers. I went for a horrific divorce. I won't go into that.
No.
But barristers, £3,000 a day, all that sort of stuff. So I swore after that I would never ever engage lawyers again.
Yeah.
I lost everything.
I hate that stuff. Like I'm so frustrated that like stuff like requires that. Like the fact that people get in such shitty situations. Like I don't know. I mean, like the funny thing is the guy in the phone call was saying like, what did you expect us to do? Like, because when all this stuff first happened, I was like, you got to give me my deposit back, and you got to pay for my plane tickets and the hotel.
Right.
And he's like, why would we ever do that? And I'm like, because that's how you make it right. And he even brought that up on that second phone call. He's like, you were asking. He was like, you were asking $2,000, which I wasn't. I was asking for whatever my costs were, which was under $1,000. But like he was shocked by that. Like somehow this was like foreign to him.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am sitting there like, do you understand how much money I've lost this year making customers happy? Like you don't even have a clue. It's 5 figures. Okay. Like we've lost shit tons of business because something would go wrong. Shipping would take too long. Someone would get upset. They would call us pissed off and we'd be like, we'll give you a discount. We'll refund your ship. We'll do this. We'll do that, whatever. I had a guy who bought an exhaust system. It was like $1,700 or whatever. He gets it. It's not right. Mind you, I didn't make it. We bought it from a third party and shipped it to him. And I never even saw it, right? Like it literally went from them to him. He's frustrated on it, working on it. He spends a bunch of his time and energy on it. So finally, I'm just like, hey, dude, I'm just going to give you your money back because they fucked up. And he's like, wow, I wasn't asking for that. But I'm like, no, that's the way to make this right. Like you should not be out your money, your time, and it's not going to work for your car. And then I hit up the company and I just told them, I said, look, you guys fucked this up. I'm not even asking for a refund. I just want you to be aware of it. So like you need to fix this problem. So I'm out $1,700 on that.
And we're not exactly flush with cash.
Yeah. Like you understand, like $1,700 to us right now is like a pretty substantial portion of our monthly revenue, like, so it just, anyway, I don't, people just have this hard time with like making things right. And I just don't understand that.
Yeah. I mean, but really though, when you're buying a car for $100,000+ and you're working with a salesman who knows you're flying in, and that's a large portion of their business is internet sales, then they should have, they should have rooms to give you. I mean, there is a hotel right beside their shop. It's not a great hotel.
That was where I was going to stay, the La Quinta.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't pay close attention to it, but at any rate, what I'm saying is if I think there's a level of service you'd expect for out-of-state clients who are coming in. They're going to be dropping serious coins. Cut your margin.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
A fraction of a percent, and offer up a hotel room or an Uber or something.
Yeah.
And think about it. If you provide a client who's at this caliber a good experience, they're going to talk positively about it. They'll be like, when someone's like, oh, like who'd you use to buy your car? Oh, it's this place. It was great, blah, blah, blah.
Like I just said with Porsche Boise.
Yeah, exactly. When it goes right, you talk about
7 or 8 years on,
Well, and Jaguar Las Vegas picked us up from the airport, but then they screwed us in the back end.
We've got this. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Right.
They were trying to be really cool, and it was going to be one of those like, hey, these guys are awesome, but no.
just noticing somebody in the comments. I think he's joke. It's a joke anyway, but just saying, "Oh, flush with cash, Mr. Future Lamborghini owners."
Right.
And that's the thing we're getting a lot in the UK. I mean, most Ferrari owners aren't that wealthy.
No,
I mean, we had to really push to buy ours. Yeah, we paid cash, but we had to really, get it right.
And the reactions that we get as well.
Yeah, Christ, nice. You wouldn't believe the negative reactions we get in that car.
How much is? Because they carry a certain connotation. Yeah.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Consult with us. We prevented this disaster. We can do the same for you. Hey, legitimately, we've saved clients thousands of dollars before. Like, whether it's because we negotiated for them or talked them into a different car. We've had multiple cars we've looked at. Hell, Carrie's car. When we bought Carrie's car, Carrie flew me in. No, sorry, it was Ryan's car that Carrie bought for Ryan, which whatever, same thing. When we flew in, mind you, Carrie's a gearhead, like big gearhead.
Like rebuilds cars in his garage.
Like has multiple cars being worked on in his garage.
Talk about American garages.
Yeah. So we
go to the Midwest.
He flies me in there to help him look at this Ferrari. And immediately I'm like, we're looking over the car. He doesn't notice anything. He's just like googly eyed. Oh my God, Ferrari. And I'm like, yeah, they need to give you new tires. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look at the date codes. We're getting you new tires. And he's like, oh shit, I totally didn't see that. So we're like, hey, you need to give us new tires. And like, why? They've got plenty of tread. I'm like, look at the date codes. They're terrible. And he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we ended up getting him to pay for new tires. So saved him a couple grand right there.
Nice.
I mean, just
it's so true. Look. I mean, we went and when we looked at the first 458 and test drove it. It's I'd come out of a 993 asked to drive a 458. I mean, you're just besotted by the thing. It's so hard to separate yourself away to put your business brain into it, and get the passion away from it. Let's look at it.
That's an inherently emotional. A
big tip is when you go buy a car, bring someone else to come with you, and just tell them to be objective and as hard as they can on the car. Like you just want someone, like obviously they need to know cars to a degree, but you want someone else there who's not emotionally involved in the decision, right? And that's one of the brilliant part about like hiring us to help you is I have no skin in the game whether or not you buy that car. Like, in fact, my job is to talk you out of the car if it should be talked out of.
Right.
So I'm going to find every last thing I can wrong with it. I'm going to point out every flaw in it. I'm going to do everything I can to figure out, do you really want this car? And if you do, how much should you actually be paying for it? So
I've done that for a few people afterwards as well, after buying mine. And you gain most of the experience when you bought a 458, which is when you buy these supercars. It's quite bizarre. Even though you do your research beforehand, when you actually own one, you get to really know them. And thankfully, there was nothing negative about my one. I've helped quite a few other people with their purchases.
When we went to Houston to look at that 430, man, I was picking that thing apart because I have no emotional connection to Ferrari whatsoever, so I think I'm actually a pretty good person to look at it because I'm not going to give it any passes whatsoever and not be like, oh, well, it's a Ferrari. I'm just like, it's a Ferrari. Wow, wrong. So
no, I mean, and Dan has a couple of guys that he uses when customers are really serious and want to pay for it to go do third-party PPIs.
Oops.
And I remember on one occasion Dan sent that guy out, conscripted that guy out to go do it. And he didn't he took, a cursory look over the car and saw so many red flags. And this is somebody who's very knowledgeable about these automobiles. And they were like, the dealership was like, you want to put it up on the lift? And he's like, nope. And he just texted Dan, is like, no. And the customer didn't buy it because it was, I remember it was because it was in awful shape, and that customer was going to absolutely buy that car and was super excited about it.
I had mine up on the lift, and I was examining it in detail underneath. And there wasn't a mark on it, and there isn't a mark on it. I was very lucky to get such a.
And that's the thing is like they're gonna try and push you to look at it quickly or whatever. In some cases, like it's really interesting because there's no consistency anywhere, right? Like you go to one place and it's totally different than you go to another place, and that's why it's impossible to have hard rules about how to do this, right? You have to be very fluid and adapt to the situation, and it's like people are like, oh well. Don't you go put it up on a lift and look at it every single time? Like, no, because sometimes we can't. Sometimes there's no lift available. Sometimes they won't let you.
Yeah, no, Ferrari dealership doesn't want third-party PPIs.
Right, a lot of Ferrari dealerships, you say, I want a PPI, and they say, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not letting someone else touch our car. Like, they
part
won't
of
do
it's
it.
a liability, too. You have somebody
and I get
underneath
it. I
the
get
lift.
it. And a lot of dealerships won't let you do a PPI or will only let you do a PPI if it's this person, that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the PPIs are good. Some of them are absolutely terrible. I mean, it's such a mixed bag, and it's so inconsistent, and it just is like but like that's why it's like I don't know. I don't have like it's funny. We've not come up with the solution of like how do we resolve this problem of being able to help everyone in a consistent manner across the board, whatever. But it's not possible because like, well, the solution is you'd have to pay people to go there, the people you trust, the people you know. But that's not always possible. Like you know, for example, like it's prohibitively expensive to pay me to go everywhere because I'm gonna charge you an arm and a leg because I don't want to go everywhere.
Yeah, especially and his wife really doesn't want him to go right now when the baby is just 5 months old.
Exactly.
But
So-
I really am not a fan of Dan traveling right now.
I mean, it's funny because people ask me all the time, "Hey, I'm looking at this car. Can I get you to go look at it?" And I'm like, "You don't want to because it's gonna be expensive."
Yeah.
Like I will, but it's gonna suck because that's not my core business. Like that's not what I'm trying to get in the business of doing. But at the same time, taking it, this is why it's funny. I laugh because I know people who have paid other people to do things that we do, like these kind of consultation services, and theirs are really expensive. Like, people we know have paid $3,000-$4,000 to have a consultation about buying a car, which to me was like, when they told me this, I'm like, what? Like, that's way too expensive. That's why ours is $250 an hour, because most of the time we have a 1 hour conversation and that's all you need.
And we don't do all or nothing in one phone call. If you only use 20 minutes in one phone call, we actually in our system on the back end we put only spoke for 20 minutes, 40 minutes left.
I mean, and honestly, when you buy a consultation, Dan still texts back and forth with, consultation clients. He worked with 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've gone way over the hour on.
Yeah, Dan,
it's like at that point, it's not even so much about me making money on it. It's more of like I just want to be acknowledged that like you agree that this is a worthwhile thing, versus like all these people are like looking for the freebie handout. Like.
At one time when your channel was small years ago now, and I know 70,000 isn't huge, but 70,000 people is still a lot of people. And when they're all texting you saying, "Give me advice about this car. Can you please look at this car and tell me if there's anything wrong with it?" He can't possibly do it all. Everybody,
thank you.
Please subscribe to Rich
Rebuilds.
Review. Rich
Reviews.
Right.
You know why? Because I've been seeing a few things on his channel, and YouTube keeps suggesting it because I clicked on one of his damn videos.
Anyway,
sorry.
Our guests tonight are from the UK, and I'm sure it's very early in the morning there. Rich Reviews, the UK supercar channel. Please subscribe. They're almost hit 700.
Yeah.
I'm happily subscribed now.
Yes.
Nice.
Daryl, thank you so much.
We're really hoping to get over the 1K by the end of this year, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. But
you got a couple hours.
Yeah.
Well, find a shoddy dealership and try to buy a car.
There you go.
I know this place. I got this place.
To the moon.
I know there's in the South Florida. I want you to call this dealership and ask them if they have this Superleggera for sale.
700.
Hey! sweats.
Nice.
Man.
Well, guys, I think this might be a good time. I've got to go do something with my kids, so I got to go.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Great chatting with y'all.
Funny thing is, I was gonna stop it at 9 o'clock like I normally do, but we have a lot of people, so I'm just kind of like, I'm waiting for the conversation to hit a stopping point. It just kind of hasn't happened. So I don't
Can
know.
we just say we're looking forward to some more empathetic reviews from you as well, Meg? Love those, Jacob and I love.
I find it mystifies me that there's people in the UK who have watched my completely ignorant reviews of supercars.
They're fab. I mean, what's you say? Shiny red car.
Shiny red
car.
Shiny red car.
I can't wait to see what she says about the Lamborghini once we
Oh,
finally
dude,
get
I
home.
can't wait to have you drive the Lamborghini. It's gonna be bad. It's so bad.
I'll take care.
See you, Scott. Thanks for joining us. Go fill that
yourself.
hole. Oh, damn, he missed.
Also, the thing is, when Meg does a review, and when she drives the cars, it's a real, honest, true reaction. You can see on your face. It's really
And it's consistent because what I do is I drive them fast in a straight line a couple of times, and then I give you my very clinical impressions thereof. And
living the dream.
You know what I think is the funniest thing?
Shooter.
Think about this. This is something we actually joked about this once, which we were like, Meg's driven more supercars than like most of the people who watch our channel.
Yeah.
And she
driven more
hates them.
supercars than me.
Yeah, she does not give a crap about them, and I think that's hilarious. Like, here's these guys who would like, I would give anything to drive that car, and she's just like, nah.
I mean, you can make moves on Dan. It's just after more than 20 years, I'm pretty certain he's not gay. I mean, he might be for the right guy.
I'm playing the long game.
But no. I always say when people are like, "Oh, I'm so jealous." I'm like, I am living a 14-year-old boy's best life. Because, no.
Oh, hey, his ears must have been bleeding. Matt, dude, we heard that your coolant line may have had an issue.
He posted a little video about it, like a 20-second video or something. I watched it today.
So, look, I didn't.
Oh my God! Someone said their 8-year-old child is watching my reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think most of them are PG.
We bleep it out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You're usually stricter about bleeping out stuff than I am.
Yeah, because I don't want to say expletives because, like, I still have 1 foot in conventional world of employment, right?
True.
So.
Oh, I'm yawning. That must be getting near time.
We're old.
Another clip I remember is where Meg's saying about and being absolutely terrified whichever car park you go to make sure you're not going to scrape the underneath, something along those lines.
Yeah, no, it's emotionally exhausting having to worry about that. Yeah, you can't park
nodding and thinking, yeah, that's how it is. You know, one of these cars, that's how it is.
I'm sorry to hear that, Matt. Hey, you ever come to a conclusion of what you want to do with your car? Feel free to don't discuss it on this if you don't want to. We can always text later, but yeah. That's still an option. Just leave it there. Oh yeah, Meg did say a quack tonight.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, and I can't quack this.
No, I know you can't.
Yeah.
I wish they had a button. You could
That'd be cool. Oh.
Yeah.
If we were on like a 3-second delay or something.
I'm not averse to curse words, but there's certain things when Dan says them in videos, I watch him edit his videos sometimes, or I hear him when I'm downstairs and he's editing videos. I'm like, please, no. You can't say that on the internet. Please.
We don't need a quack button on ours. I've got certain words that I keep repeating, and Jacob says, "Dad, you've got to stop it. You've got to stop saying these words."
It took me forever. It took me forever. I still say like too much. There's a couple other things I say too much, and so here you want to quick tip, just edit them out and do a jump cut, because it actually like lots of jump cuts keep people's attention. They complain about it. They're like, "Oh, why you cut so much?" And I'm like, "Because you don't want to hear me say like, or breathe. Like you don't want to hear my breath going, like no one wants that, right?"
That's
like
my job, yeah.
Yeah, that's his job. It's what he does. He's doing a degree in filmmaking, so it's all.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the
Very
same
cool.
university that I graduated, just bizarrely, it's fluke. It's happened the same things at the same uni. Yeah.
Rich
Yeah.
Reviews, what is your take on the Meghan Harry situation?
No,
I take it you're not really royalist.
no, I'm not a royalist.
Okay.
That's what it's called, royalists?
Well, there's some people who are fans of the crown.
So, I
But-
don't understand this. My wife is like super into that shit.
All American women are into that shit.
That's not
True.
true. My
Wow.
wife is.
I
A
think-
lot of American women are into the royal family, the British royal family.
I don't understand it. I'm like, we fought an entire war to not have to worry about those people. So why do you give a shit about those people?
Yeah, no, we came back for 2 subsequent wars to fight with them.
I guess so. Yeah.
They-
That's because we're like
That's
bros
because
now.
they're
We don't have to
cool,
care about
yeah.
the people at the top.
I hung out with when I was in the military. I was in Singapore, and there were some British people there, and we hung out and drank with y'all. Some of y'all's Royal Air Force there. Y'all were cool people.
Dude, you know what's the funniest thing ever is, I swear to God, like, Australia is America's long lost redneck cousin. Seriously, like,
Dude, every time we go to the South Pacific, and we
So,
went a
yeah.
lot years ago because we're scuba divers, but the
We-
Australians and the
man.
Americans, man, like
it was like broing it out. Like,
I
it was.
I
don't
admire
know what
their
it is.
willingness to say the C word as much as they do.
Oh, I love that. It's hilarious. Dude, it's just a riot. Like, they are so foul. Actually, the best thing ever. We went to the V8 supercar. Was it called V8 supercars?
At
Whatever
Coda,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, they came to the US that one year and went at Coda. And I went to that. And so like the audience was like half Australian, which was awesome. So we're hanging out in the grandstands surrounded by drunk Australians watching like basically like a Royal Rumble of cars. I mean, it's like take NASCAR, remove the rules, and encourage them to hit each other. And it's insane. And here's these drunk dudes just like losing their shit and just yelling at everything. Oh, it was just so much fun.
did you know the Duke and Duchess of Sussex named their little girl Lilibet because it was like Elizabeth's childhood name?
I did not know that.
Now you
Oh
know.
my god. Well, you
And-
know how you were saying we were looking for a place to cut it, Dan?
That's where it is. Yeah. And with that,
Let's talk about Downton Abbey.
no, God, it's over.
Conversely, I can say I've been over to the States quite a bit. I learned to ski in America in Breckenridge.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Right,
We've,
good.
we've been.
Brack
quick
is good.
question. Serious though, before. So over here we call, like our beds, queen and king size. Do you guys call them like presidential size beds over there?
like he just was like,
We finally got a laugh out of the younger person. He's like, this is so lame. I'm getting back on TikTok.
So that's a no on the presidential size bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen Kings, things you guys.
oh man, like, but where do you go for a lower size? You like VP? What is that? It's gonna be like the, like
Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House is full size.
I'll put you in a guest room. It's got the Speaker of the House bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using that and see if it catches on.
I like it. Yeah. Jake, you get to drive the 458.
I can't drive yet.
No, you can't. You don't
Yeah,
sneak
18.
out.
It's a lot harder to get a license in the UK
Yeah,
than it is in America in certain states. Like in Michigan, you could get a license when you were 14.
Any
If you had the
jackass
permit.
with $20 can get a license in America.
Well, yeah, there's
Yeah.
still agricultural laws on the books in a lot of states where,
Mhm.
frankly, children get licenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's not hard to get a license in the US compared to Europe.
No.
Well, not that UK is Europe, but
Close enough.
Yeah.
That side.
Also,
That's a
the
tough
UK
subject
and
right now.
you know,
insurance is tricky as well because my insurance company, which is the same for many, won't insure youngsters. It won't insure anybody under 35.
Oh, yeah, no chance.
really?
I wouldn't be able to drive it anyway.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
I
See,
just
that's
wouldn't-
crazy.
we just wouldn't get insured. I just no matter how much money, they would just say no.
Youngsters in the UK, it's wealthy people who their youngsters can drive cars and they self-insure.
Here in the States, unless your policy specifically excludes it, anybody can drive your car if you let them.
Yeah, if you have permission.
Yeah. And they're covered by the policy, and very few policies have that exclusion. It's nuts that you guys are like that over there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing that
Oh,
I mean,
probably. I was given a tractor at 12 to drive around because my parents didn't want to drive me.
Lamborghini.
Why are you driving a tractor? I got
Yeah, it was a-
tractor
it
shit.
was
well,
a
I mean, it
John
makes
Deere.
sense to me because my brothers and I didn't get my license till I was 20. I was an unusual American, but my brothers and I we got kicked off the good insurance my dad was on because of our shit with cars. I mean, we just flat got kicked off. We had to go to whatever bullshitty insurance that was super expensive because USAA was like,
No.
nah,
No.
not any longer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a no for me, fam.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up. So, thank you, everyone. It's been really fun. I'm sure lots of you have more questions and stuff. So we'll do this again next week. Hopefully, we will be doing this in front of a Lamborghini. That's the plan, anyway. So we'll just fingers crossed. I mean, last time I kind of was like, "Oh yeah, it's for sure going to happen." So now I'm kind of a little bit more cautious about that. Again, please go subscribe to Rich Reviews. We appreciate them for joining
subscribe
us.
to Rich Reviews.
Yeah,
'cause
super late there. It's like
they're humoring my questions about the royal family.
And my bed
Thanks,
questions.
yeah.
And Adam's dad jokes.
Yes. So we appreciate that. We'll be you guys we'll have some more stuff related to the reason you're here tonight. So don't worry, we got a little bit more about that. But yeah, anyway, Lamborghini on the way. So we're gonna wrap it up. All right.
Oh, Stephen Perez says, Meg, we love you and I love my Peloton too. That's Dan's Peloton.
Oh yeah,
guys.
that's me.
I don't use it.
Yeah. If you want to follow me on Peloton, which you should not, it's normal guy SC. That's my username.
If you want to ride Peloton with Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can like laugh at how slow and pathetic I am. All right, guys.
Thanks
We'll
a lot
see you
for
next
the
week.
invite.
Happy New Year.
Yes, happy new. Yes, by the time you come back, it'll be another year. All right.
See you guys next year.
Yeah.
See you next year.
Dad
Hey,
jokes.
hey, Adam, I got a dad joke for you.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hang out
What do
after
you
the video.
feed your baby if you want him to grow up to be a race car driver?
Oh no.
What do you feed your baby if you want him to grow up to be a race car driver? I don't know.
Formula One.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.